Sardegna then in the Group 3s. Here we are then with Daily Race C. And this week, Daily Race C is at Sardegna on the Road Track C reverse layout. And for this one, we have 20 laps on the racing soft tyre, 2 times fuel, 6 times tyre, and BOP. So, looking at this one initially, kind of wondering, 20 laps? That kind of seems quite a bit for a daily race, doesn't it? But given that a lap is under a minute, it kind of makes sense to make the race long enough, doesn't it? So we got 20 laps then on a track that by the, well, first impressions, it's pretty quick, isn't it? There's also a pit stop in the race as well to change those racing soft tyres. So kind of like Daily Race C on Deep Forest a couple of weeks ago where we had that racing soft tyre race for the pit stop. And with a very short lap as well, as I say, lapping in under a minute, we should get some pretty interesting racing on this one, to say the least. And hopefully today there won't be any more spins and just chucking my car into the wall. We'll hopefully keep it nice and planted today on the asphalt. Noticed a bit on the leaderboards before entering this one that the Genesis appears to be the meta car, as it were. So with that said then, how are we going to get on in the old trusty Nissan GTR Nismo? I guess time will tell. I'm sure not everyone's going to be using the Genesis in the race. We'll have some Porsches and what other Group 3 cars that people use quite a bit. Lamborghinis, quite a few of those. Want to sort of aim for a car that kind of gives you a nice rounded, balanced package. It's going to help you push on, but it's also going to help you get around the track as well. We've got some brake bias as well available to tweak, so we can add some brake bias to the front or the rear. Okay, nice bit of a warm-up there. So, let's jump in. Right, in the hot seat then from P13. Okay, get ready to rumble. Right, away we go then for 20 laps of Sardegna Road Track C reverse. And we arrive at the first corner. Let's just see how we get on here. Oh, bit of a bump there from behind. Oh, bit of a contact going on there. I've got someone there going up on the left-hand side. A bumpy start to the race, to say the least. Let's just sort of get into it then and see how we get on. It's like some contact further up ahead as well. Someone off there. Yeah, the flags, 2 off there. One going to get a little bit sideways there. We've gone up the inside bit late there. Couldn't really back out of that one, but we've got ourselves back up into P12 then as we end the first lap. 1 down, 19 to go. Bit of attrition there on the opening lap, so we'll just sort of keep an eye on that one and see, as I say, how things transpire. Already sensing here, this section here can be a bit unnervy if you get offline. Really sort of try to carry as much as you can through here, and around these final couple of corners here, really sort of try to get it slowed down in time for this one here, get it round, get yourself a nice run out. Right, 2 down already. Just got my brake balance there. Just moved to the rear at the end of that second lap there, just to sort of try and keep the back end in check. It's shaping up so far then to be a fair bit of action. Oh, we've got some battling ahead of us here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars maybe. Definitely at least 4. Trying to keep ourselves to ourselves here. Bump from behind just helps us get bumped around the corner. All sort of bunched up here to start of lap 4. And not really much overtaking room on this track as far as I can see at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. Let's get on the brakes for the first corner. Get ourselves round. Car alongside us then. I'm sort of tempted here with this one to just sort of see where they are. Yep, let them go. We're going to go side by side through this bit here. I think that's just kind of asking for trouble at this stage. Really at the moment, it's kind of keep the car on the track, worry about where you are later position-wise. This race is unfolding and happening very quickly here. 4 laps down already. Getting on to lap 5 now. Imagine if the race was like 5 or 6, that could be done by now. We'll be finishing in a minute. And the tyres are going to get a bit of a hammering on this one as well, especially through this section here. Oh, just really hanging it on there. Someone there just rounding an Alfa Romeo. Side by side now. into the right-hander. I sort of concentrate a bit on this one, really sort of keep an eye out and notice the bits in front of you and all the bits around you. Alongside now, start of lap 6, running down towards the first corner, battle here for P10. I'm going to get myself on the brakes here into the first corner, down to first there, trying to keep the nice tight line. Guys on the outside there in the BMW, and he's going to keep the place. As I say, I'm not really interested really at the moment in going to take guys alongside in this section here. Stay behind for now. Beamer there going on the defensive there. Bit of an accidental bump there. Just going to sort of try to stay behind him. Got someone there going very slow. Oh, I'm not going to commit to that one. The BMW there just getting off onto the grass as well, but trying to just be as smooth as we can. Accidents happen, folks. Yellow flags. Down to P12. We're not out the fight yet. This corner here, really trying to get it slowed down in time. The brake bias, though, is helping by the feel of it. Just sort of help us get around there with a more stable rear end. On to lap 8 now, then. The racing soft tyres still holding up at the moment, but as I say, racing soft tyres in this one, going to get a right battering going round the back end of the track anyway. Like shape there with the barriers, but it's going to set you up here for a nice run through here. It's going to stay behind the Beamer for now, hopefully without bashing them off. Right, the question of when to change our tyres. A bit like Deep Forest, just kind of as and when. But one of the front runners making a pit stop now to change the tyres. We're just going to stay behind the BMW for now. Tyres so far, yeah, they're alright. Yeah, just keep going. Lap 10. Halfway through. Seems as though the chaos has calmed down a bit now. We're just sort of riding around with the P9 now in the BMW. So just keep going for now. Run it up to our first pit stop. 2 there, just in front there with penalties there. They've both come together, taking a couple of penalties. Just going to drop them back into our little run here. Watchers coming out the final corner, a bit of a bump there. One of them's just been spun round. Oh, cuts across the Nismo there to enter the pit lane. The Nismo's going to carry on as a wee onto lap number 11. Keep it on the outside. There's the Nismo in our mirrors there. Oh, bit of contact there. We're just going to try to hold it around the outside. It's the job done. Up to P6. Just don't go wrong on this bit. That's it. Feeling the tyres a bit now. Don't go wrong on this bit either, especially there's a car right behind you. Might run it a bit in clean air and see what happens, although the tyre wear might counter that a little bit. But we'll go for one more lap or so on these tyres, and then we'll have a look at making a pit stop. That sounds a bit of prime time at the front of the field. P4, short shift there into second just to help the rear end stay in check. It's down the hill here. Get on the power a bit later though, to sort of try and help the front end get round without running off over the apex. I'm not really sure. Yeah, the front left's looking like it's a bit done. Right, let's get in the pits. New set of tyres. Right, onward we go. Very sort of precarious pit exit there. Thankfully, you ghosted, you come out the pit lane. If you didn't, it might cause a bit of a problem. We're back in the action then with fresh set of tyres. Lap 13, back behind the BMW then once again. And what we got behind us, a Porsche there, just tucking in behind us there in P12. Got the tyres now, fresh tyres there. All the BMW there for the final corner. We get a run perhaps. Looks like we've got company. The Porsche's done myself. Is he going to do the BMW as well? Get on the brakes early for the first corner. We're going to follow the Porsche through on the inside. Oh, just comes across there. Bit of more contact. Oh, we're sideways. I'm not really interested in overtaking, to be honest, on this corner. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're still going, though. We're still in this race. Just about. It's mayhem, isn't it? The wheels of the car are still on the track, and I guess that's the only thing that really matters at the minute. Right, 5 laps to go. Let's see if we can just hang on for a bit then, and see if we can survive these final 5 laps or so. This one's better. Now on the actual line, we can sort of get through the corner without deciding to try to take anyone out. Don't want to get on the back of the Beamer again and end up in that situation again on that uphill section there, but we'll see. We've got 4 laps to go. Ooh, we've gone a bit wide there, coming out the first corner. We have got ourselves back on the back of them then, by the look of it. We're going to get a run here. Oh, defensive there. We're going to go to the outside. Going to try to carry it around the outside. What we really need is just a nice clean pass get a slipstream or something down here and then just kind of go for it, get it done before the first corner. 3 laps to go, and I reckon this one's going to go on until the end. Oh, it's gone a bit wide again at the first corner. It's going to get us alongside there, just marginally in front though, so we're just going to tuck him behind. Bit of a lift there to help us get through. Here we are then approaching the final corner, getting very close there to the rear end. Around this last corner, we've got, right, just over 2 to go. Laps well and truly flying by in this one. Now it's our turn to go wide at the first corner. Foot to the floor. I don't think we're quite close enough to... No, we're not close enough there to do a slipstream. 2 laps to go then. We're back at the first corner, and we're going through this time nice and cleanly compared to last time. Okay, 1 lap to go. Yeah, the flag's just back there. Looks like the Porsche in front's gone off there, so we've got... Yeah, there they are as we start the final lap. They've got a 1.5 second time penalty there, so may be able to benefit from that if we can stay close enough on this final lap. They're going to take their time penalty there. It's going to get us into P11. Just get it around the final couple of corners now. Oh, someone there's gone in the final corner. P10. Yeah, run it to the line. Get the job done. P10. Wow, what a crazy race. Carnage ensuing. I think it's one of those where you can have some proper good battles on here. You can really follow other cars really closely for lap after lap. But just a case of, if there's quite a few of you and one of you makes a mistake, then the chain reaction is going to be pretty spectacular, or it can be quite spectacular. Not really room for error as far as I can see, as I say. If you're in like a group of 3 or 4 cars and one of the guys in the middle of the pack makes a mistake, you can potentially cause a 3-4 car pile, or maybe even more. But it is, on the whole, from what I've done anyway, a really good track where you can just literally throw the car around. Yeah, it is a good race, this one. I quite enjoyed that last one. And as ever, if you do happen to enjoy my pretty average driving at best on Gran Turismo 7, so like and subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Right, so that time again. So let's get back in then and see what the next race is going to deliver. Where are we now? P12. All systems check. Good to go. Right, away we go. The second instalment of 20 laps here at Sardegna. It's turn 1. First corner successfully navigated. Now we're just going to work up the hill here. In there a little bit of P10, but just sort of thinking a bit better of it there at the last minute. A little bit wide there on the exit of the corner, but got ourselves to P11 then on this first lap. And so far so good. Looking at the field, we've all got round the first lap relatively unscathed. The first lap now complete. On to lap 2. Let's get into it. A lunge there down the inside. Oh, just contact there. Oh, very late there from the Genesis in front. Stay behind the Genesis going through this section here. Be sure to check what's happening behind me. I'm aware that I'm going quite slow through there and don't want anyone to run into the back of me. 1 off there. Got a 5-second time penalty ensue as well. That's going to bump us up there to P9. Bit of a compromised line there through those couple of corners there, but we've got it slowed down for this right-hander here. Nice drive out 2. Getting ourselves back onto the start-finish straight. Building up then, 1.3 clear of P10. Start of lap 3, 1.8 behind P8. Into the first corner. A bit wide there on the turn in there, but we got round. Someone there as well in front of us there, just going off the track. They've now rejoined. Let's get it around this corner here. Oh, we've gone wide again on the exit. Just got to really watch that exit there. Try not to take too much. On the grass, round you go. At 4, laps are flying by once again. Using the pit exit then as the racing line for the braking for the first corner. Gone very deep at the first corner once again there as the Genesis there was in the tyre barrier. That's going to move us there to P8. And ensuing there going up the hill. Looks as though they've kept themselves on the track. The flags here as well. Oh, someone there's gone as well. Down to P7. 5 laps in then, and the tyres, they're alright, but really noticing that tyre wear. Lap 5 then, a quarter of the way through. Third time lucky there, going deep on that first corner. Going to get the guy behind onto our tail here, going up the uphill section here. We lead on the tyres through there, and again here, just really try to guide the car through. Pulling out a little bit of a gap there, side by side ahead of us there. On the brakes there for the final corner. Get ourselves round. And just a bit in the gravel there for good measure. See a move here perhaps at the start of lap 6, I'd say so. Good run there into the first corner, there they go. Getting the move done. And this time, we've actually managed to do the first corner without going wide. That's good. Right, push on then. Let's get to that first pit stop in a relatively good position. Bit of a gear shift mix-up back there. It's cost me a couple of tenths to the car behind. Are for the most part now in P7. Looking quite good so far then in this one. Managing to take advantage of things happening earlier on in the race. We're now on to lap 7 then, as I say. Sitting now in P7. Get on the brakes here for the first corner. Maybe use second gear there, short shift it there just to help us get round. We go again up the hill. Down here on the right line, not a problem. Just when you get a little bit offline through there, it can be a little bit terrifying. An inroads here on P6 towards the end of the lap as we come round the final corner. Are they managing their tyres maybe? I say managing tyres, I think the best thing to do in this daily race is just to go hell for leather from the first lap and then just literally just go for it. Nothing to lose at the end of the day. All very close there to P6, round the right hander, a bit wide there, just going to allow us there to nip through into P6 ourselves now. Get the flags there in force just ahead of us there, but nobody's gone off by the look of it. Pit stop and pit stop. So we're going to be going up now into P5. And then P4 at the start of lap 9. Left is definitely taking a bit of a battering round here, racing soft tyre wise compared to the others. Pretty lean on the tyres here going up this section. Okay, we're P4 then, just over half the race to run. Go P3 now at the start of lap 10 as P3 pits there to change their racing soft tyres. Nobody exiting the pit lane, that's good. Allows us to get around this first corner. A bit sort of tricky this first corner for me today. Not losing copious amounts of time at that first corner, but just in general, the first corner there just could be a bit better. I'll try to YOLO perhaps on what's left of the tyres now to get through, get the most out of them on the run up to our pit stop. Which will be probably, I don't know really, lap 10. Couple more laps. Yeah, let's take the race lead for a bit. Enjoy the moment. A little bit close there with that barrier. Oh, just about got that one saved. Pushing a bit there, trying to YOLO it a bit just to sort of really wring out the life in these tyres, the life that's left in these tyres before we pit and change them over. That would have been a bit of a crash there if we'd put it in the wall there. Right, fresh pair of boots. Back into the action then in P6. 8 laps to go. A nice fresh set of racing soft tyres now, so let's really sort of try to push these tyres now and see what we can do. Yeah, the flags then out again. We're going to go P5 there as a Porsche there just going on. 7 laps to go. We are 7.5 behind the top 4 and 3.5, just over 3.5 in front of P6. Do a montage with this first corner at this rate. All the times that we've outbraked ourselves at turn 1. Do a montage of how many times we get precariously close to that barrier as we go up the uphill there. And another one of how many times we run it wide on the exit of that corner. On to lap 14, our 3.2 ahead of P6. I think the top 4 have gone, to be honest, on this one. 9.2. Yeah, I think they're going to be out the picture. Let's get on then and consolidate P5. But we're still 5.5 laps or so of this race to go. Anything can happen, including me spinning out. Hopefully that will not happen. As we start lap 15, top 4 just running away with it now. 10.5 seconds now. I think we're losing time here to the car behind. We're gearing up here perhaps for a final lap showdown for P5. I do wonder. It might be. This lap's not really been that impressive, to say the least. Now 1.5 behind as a result. Right, 4 to go. Back at the first corner, and we're sitting currently 1.4 clear of P6 now. Pretty static on this lap, the gap between ourselves and P6 then, but it's coming down now though as we run down the hill towards the start of lap 17, coming on quite a bit as well. Long to go then in this race, and I feel like P5 is going to be really under threat before long. I'm just happy, to be honest, that I'm not actually crashed into that barrier yet, just down there. Bit of breathing space then at the start of lap 18. Safe from here then, just kind of keep it on the track and bring it home. Nice plain sailing final couple of laps. Now the gap to P4 has just very suddenly dropped there. Look past them there. I think they've had a bit of an off there. Having said that, though, I think the gap will go out quite quickly. Really going to be much of a threat to P4 as we start the penultimate lap. But yeah, the flags though, a bit on the grass there. Final time up the hill. Yeah, got it done. Here then for the final time. Looking a-okay. Yeah, got that one done. Penalty there in front. I'm not really sure we're going to be in a position to mount a challenge. Last corner then. Down the hill towards the line. And we're going to be P5. But we will be P5 once we actually get round the final lap of the race. No idea why I thought that was the final lap. But there you go. This is the final lap. And we're just going to keep it on the track. And we're just going to bring it home now. Nice P5. That's it now. Just navigate these final couple of corners. There you go. Get it slowed down for this one here. Right, here we go. Here's P5. A good race this one, pushing hard on the racing soft tyre. Lots of good battles, good racing in general. Pretty fast this daily race. Pretty fast, bit scary as well. Yeah, it's a good race.